everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside Keaton Stewart and Freddie B. Welcome to the Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina for Arena Championship Series East. We get started tonight with our racing bracket. Dragon, Stone Crusher, El Toro Loco, Hooked, Gravedigger, Wasted Nights, and Whiplash against Bad News Travels Fast. Those are the round one matchups. The winners advance to the semifinals, and the winner of the racing competition grabs the first 8 points of the night in pursuit of the overall event championship. Let's get started with our racing bracket right now. It is going to be Chad Tingler and Stone Crusher in one lane. Lined up on the other side is Cody Saucier in Dragon. Nobody has more racing wins on this series than Cody Saucier. He is lightning fast, and we are getting ready to rock here in Greenville. Nice tight turn there for Dragon. He's got the lead at the halfway point. Again, starts the turn as soon as he crosses that chalk line. Beautifully done. Cody Saucier in Dragon is your winner, and he will advance to the semifinals. Next up here in round one, it is going to be Shane Freed in Hooked out of Florida. And his opponent here in the round one matchup is El Toro Loco's Armando Castro. Armando Castro, a former star in the Triple Threat Series, was the 2019 Speedster Racing World Finals champion. And we are off and running. Armando Castro, nice brake check around the turning box, and he has got the lead. El Toro Loco making a push, and a big-time win for Armando Castro, about a truck length over Shane Freed. So Armando will advance into the semifinal round. Next up in round one, a great appearance here for Monster Jam fans by Brandon Budd in Wasted Nights. And he goes up against the series points leader, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. So welcome back to Monster Jam, Brandon, but you got to go up against this kid out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. And Weston Anderson has the lead at the halfway point. Final turn, Brandon Budd going to spin out a little bit, maybe some rust on the wagon, and Weston Anderson now will advance into round two semifinals. So no upset so far as we see Brandon Darrow and Bad News Travels Fast, and he goes up against Mahan in Whiplash in our final round one matchup. Whiplash with a great start off the line. She hits the turn first, drifts the back end of that truck around. Bad News Travels Fast playing catch up. Brandon Darrow's got to go slow around the turn, and Mahan takes the lead. And move on to the semifinals. It's going to be Dragon up against El Toro Loco and Gravedigger up against Whiplash. The winners of these two matchups will advance up onto the pod and meet in the final round. And we start the semifinals with Armando Castro and El Toro Loco up against Cody Saucier in Dragon. This has been an incredibly competitive series all season long, but in racing, it has been dominated by Cody Saucier, and the turns right there for Armando Castro. Textbook, he has got the lead. This could be an upset, but Dragon now gets it on the final turn, and Dragon advances. Cody Saucier gets to another final round. Next up in the semis, Weston Anderson and Gravedigger up against Mahan in Whiplash. Princess of Carnage going to try to get by the youngest son of Dennis Anderson, and we are off and running. Weston around the turn. Mahan's got to go tight. She's got the lead, and Weston barely edges on the turning box, nearly clipped it, but a great move, and Weston Anderson will advance. So the final round matchup going to be against two guys become great friends on this tour. Dragon's Cody Saucier against Gravedigger, but hang on, Gravedigger is broken, so Weston Anderson will be unable to compete, which means Mahan gets a shot at redemption. She will now advance to the final round. There's a look at Gravedigger now getting towed off into the pit area, so a tough break for Weston Anderson. Now Dragon will go up against Whiplash, and Mahan has a chance to get some points back. Cody Saucier, one of the most accomplished racers in the entire sport, up against Mahan, one of the most accomplished freestyle drivers in all of Monster Jam. Winner gets the first 8 points of the night. We are off and running in the racing finals. Mahan wide on the turn, tight at the halfway point. Into the final turn, Cody Saucier goes wide. Mahan stays tight, and Whiplash takes the win. So a shot at redemption for Mahan. She gets the win, goes through the racing bracket, and she will get the first 8 points of the night. Let's hear from our racing winner. She is down on the track with our very own Keaton Stewart.
Mahan, what a story. I mean, you were out of the racing game. You brought back in against Cody Saucier and Dragon, who has the highest number of racing wins. But you said no and took your very first racing win right here in Greenville. How do you feel?
I don't even know if I can put words together right now. These competitors out here, especially Cody, I have not had any luck in racing this year. We have been doing, honestly, we've been doing terrible. So to come out here, you know, and unfortunately Gravedigger broke, which I hate to see that happen, but you know what, we always have to be ready. Came out here and able to beat Cody Saucier over here, who is probably one of the best racers in Monster Jam history. I'm on cloud nine. Greenville, what do you say to that?
Well, I think you're definitely adding to the fan base of Whiplash right here, claiming those first 8 points. But we've got the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge coming up next. Can you use some of this momentum to carry that into the next competition?
You know, absolutely. Like I said, Greenville is one of my favorite cities to come to. So to come out here strong with some points, we need that for this overall. I'm here to show every female in these stands that girls can do it too. We're here to be pretty and get dirty with the boys. Let me hear you.
Give it up, keep up that energy. She is your racing winner. It's Brianna Mahan driving a Whiplash.
Brianna Mahan with some powerful words for the female fans. Girl power running wild so far in Greenville as we take a look at our BKT overall point standings. Brianna gets 8 points, Cody Saucier with 7, Armando, Castro, Weston, Anderson with 4, Brandon Budd, Brandon Darrow, Shane Freed, and Chad Tingler all with 2 points apiece. Next up is the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. Each driver gets 2 attempts at their best maneuver on 2 wheels. Fans in attendance will be judging on creativity, execution, and skill. And Chad Tingler looking for a reverse stop. He doesn't get much there on attempt number 1. There's a textbook sky wheelie, trucking a perfect 90-degree angle, so a nice jump, and a 5.115 is the score to beat for Chad Tingler in Stone Crusher. Up next, his teammate for Monster Trucks Unlimited, Shane Freed in Hooked, trying for a sky wheelie off the double log stack, and again trying for another sky wheelie. 3.641 is the score for Hooked. Next up, Brandon Budd in Wasted Nights, doing great things on the independent circuit so far this season. Now back in Monster Jam. Setting up here, trying to get a stop. He gets it up on the front 2 tires and is able to get a little bit of the truck on the back end up. 6.637, that is enough to take the lead. So Brandon Budd, Wasted Nights, is your current leader. Here comes Brandon Darrow, Bad News Travels Fast, trying for a double log sky wheelie. Goes to the well again, tries again for another sky wheelie, gets some solid air. 4.879, not enough to take the lead. Wasted Nights remains your leader. Next up, a racing winner, Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. One of the best pure jumpers in all of the sport. Showing you why right there. Brake check, sky wheelie, great angle of the truck. Going at it again, another sky wheelie this time. Doesn't get the brake check, keeps it going. Let's take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. Look at the angle of the truck, the brake check on the back 2 BKT, 7.751. Your new leader, Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. Next up, Cody Saucier in Dragon gets a reverse stop. He then goes right for the wheelie, gets the truck back on the wheelie bar, tries to get it across the pod. Nice attempt. And then going for a bicycle, trying to get a J-hook turn around the pod. As we take a look at the super glue, glue to the action replay. There's a reverse stoppie. That is enough to take the lead. 8.239 is the score for Dragon. And Cody Saucier now has the lead. Next up in the competition, Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. He now goes for a stoppie into a moonwalk. Armando has one of the highest averages in this competition in the entire sport. Now edges up onto the pod, now back across, tries to get a stoppie here. He gets it, gets the perfect angle of the truck on the back 2 BKTs. He's now got a slow rolling moonwalk. Can he get it all the way up to the pod? Runs out of room, a lot of dirt there, doesn't get the traction, but a great attempt, and he's still going. Look at the wheelie combination. So a 3-for-1 combo there in the Great Clips. Make it 4. A quadruple combo as now Armando Castro with the crab walk, moonwalk, the edging of the nose wheelie. Unbelievable. This is why he is one of the best in the business in this competition, and he is still going. Check your watches. He's got 20 seconds to keep this truck up, and he is taking full advantage. Finally sets it back down. What a move as we take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay. 9.605 is the score, more than enough to take the lead. Your new leader, Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. Now Gravedigger's Weston Anderson back from the pit area. He is able to come back out and compete after breaking in the semifinal round, trying for a stoppie. Not much there. That dirt's starting to really rut up on the edge of that pod. Comes back at it again, looking for a popper. He gets it right into a nose wheelie. Now he's got full control of the truck, sliding it back, keeping it still, stopping right on a dime on the chalk line. Those red headlights making marks on that dirt, just eyeing it up. He's trying now to go back and forth. Some seesaw action, gets it right up on the edge. That is incredible skill. And the fans going nuts here in Greenville. It is Digger country. Still going strong, now getting it up, trying to get it back, maybe on a reverse stoppie here, and he's got it. Keeps it going again on the wheelie combo. So a great transition. Weston Anderson has 9.347, not quite enough. That means Armando Castro wins the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge.
Armando, you were able to take the win, and you're fighting against these track conditions, but this is your 17th win, so, I mean, tell us how you feel.
Man, it felt awesome, you know. As you guys can tell, my first attempt didn't go too well. As you've seen, with each and every pass, this dirt, it's pretty much like sand, so it's very slick, and it's hard to get traction on this thing, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it on this side, and just hope for the best. But man, what'd you guys think about the 2-wheel skills, baby?
And your fans have more to see from you because we've got the donut competition coming up next, which track conditions could play a role in again. I mean, what are you going to do to keep up the momentum?
This is all a momentum game, man. These guys and girls are so good. Man, we're just getting started. We're halftime here. These guys, FMX guys, are going to come out and tear it up. But man, we're just getting started. We got donuts, and of course, my favorite competition, freestyle. Who's ready for some more?
Thank you, Keaton. All right, let's take a look again now at the BKT overall point standings after 2 competitions. We have a tie atop the leaderboard. Cody Saucier, Mahan with 13 points apiece. Armando Castro with 12. Weston Anderson, 11. Brandon Budd, 6. Chad Tingler, 5. Brandon Darrow with 4. And Shane Freed with 3. Next up, it is the donut competition. Might be a little tough on this sand-like substance. Cody Saucier out first. He's got a good one going here, roosting the track here in Greenville. And some nice revolution. 6.599 is the score for Cody Saucier. Brandon Budd wasted nice, now gets a crack here in the donut competition, comes out deep, gets a nice slow roll here, has the back end of that truck down. He's got it going up on 3 wheels. 6.328 for Brandon Budd. Next up, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. Nobody does donuts like the entire Anderson family. It runs in the family. And Weston showing you why right now, has a nice groove. Slows down a little bit, 8.201. Your new leader is Gravedigger. Next up in the competition, Brandon Darrow. Bad news travels fast. Now goes wide, gets a nice spot. Look at the tires moving. He's pushing that throttle. He's got the front left wheel up in the air. Rolling it back down. We'll see what the score is from the fans here in Greenville. 7.180. The lead remains with Gravedigger. Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, won the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. Now going to try to double down here in the donut competition. He goes drifting the back end of that truck down. Not much there. He talked about the traction earlier being an issue, and it shows. 7.558. Weston Anderson remains your leader. Next up, Shane Freed in Hook. He goes out deep, gets a nice angle, and now he's got the dirt roosting. Gives you a great look at what's underneath that dirt here in Greenville at the Secours Wellness Arena. 7.633. Not a bad score, but not enough to take the lead. Next up, Mahan in Whiplash started the night by coming back into the racing bracket, winning the competition, and now sits tied atop the leaderboard. A win in the donut competition will go a long way to possibly securing an overall event championship. She has got a good one here. Whiplash round and round, 8.964. Your new leader is Mahan in Whiplash. Our final competitor, Chad Tingler in Stone Crusher, the former Gravedigger driver. Going to try to get it going here, try to take out Whiplash. Round and round he goes. Got some nice roost movement going. A 6.924, not going to get it done. That means once again your winner, Mahan in Whiplash.
Mahan pulling out another win. Let her hear it, Greenville. Brianna, Princess of Carnage. It's a lot of carnage you're leaving behind you. This is your second competition win today. How does it feel to pull off donuts?
It feels so amazing to come out here, be that positive, modest role model for every single girl sitting in these stands, proving to these boys the girls are here to win, we're here, and I'm ready for that overall event championship.
Brianna, you right now, currently, slim lead, but it's a lead, 3 points right now. We're going into freestyle. You have the opportunity to pull off the first win of the whole weekend right here. What's your mindset going into freestyle to get that win today?
You know what, I'm coming out here to have the time of my life. I always tell everyone that you're gonna pay for your whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge. The adrenaline that you're about to feel for freestyle is next to nothing you've ever experienced. So Greenville, are you ready for some freestyle?
One more time, make some noise. Brianna Mahan driving Whiplash.
Greenville is ready. Brianna Mahan is ready. Let's take a look now at the BKT overall point standings after 3. Whiplash, Brianna Mahan with the lead, 21 points. Weston Anderson with 18. Armando Castro with 17. Cody Saucier with 15. They all have a legitimate shot here at taking the overall event championship. One competition remains. It is freestyle, and we kick it off with Brandon Budd and Wasted Nights. Each driver has to complete the first 15 seconds of the run to get a score. Fans in attendance here in Greenville once again will be judging based on the use of all obstacles, filling the clock, and throwing in some wow moments. Let's find out what Brandon Budd and Wasted Nights does as we kick off freestyle. Starts off with a nice finesse sky wheelie right into a nose wheelie. Great combo, and he's got a stoppie. Comes off again, gets some nice air brake check. A little slap wheelie attempt on the backside. Back over it again. Good shot at that double log side of the obstacle. Now comes over, trying to wheelie across the pod. Goes off the edge. Double log sky wheelie, gets a nice finesse on the backside again. You see him dragging those back 2 tires up on the pod. On the end, that is pure veteran skill. As we take a look at the super glue, glue to the action replay. There's a good look at that stoppie into the nose wheelie. 6.058 is the score for Wasted Nights. Brandon Darrow out of Virginia, and Bad News travels fast. Up next, out on the track, comes up over the pod, wasting no time getting started. Now just climbing over the pod, trying to get some air, a little push off the obstacle onto the edge of the pod and then down across the other side. First event of the weekend. At this point, it's all about consistency, trying to keep the truck together for a weekend full of Monster Jam action. You want to be careful not to do too much damage, as there's very quick turnaround between this event and the next. Now Brandon Darrow trying for a sky wheelie off the double log. Not a whole lot of air. Still gets some nice extension of the truck. Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. 5.233 is the score for Brandon Darrow. So a nice run for Bad News travels fast. Next up, Cody Saucier and Dragon with a shot at the event championship here. Comes out with a vengeance. A lot of throttle rhythm. Goes wide across the track up onto the pond. We are off and running as the clock has started. Brake check, end over end jump. Now comes down across the side of the pod. You see the dirt just covering those obstacles. A lot of crazy sand-like tacky dirt on this track. Comes off the ramp here with Dragon. Tried for a little stoppie attempt. Not much there again with the double log stack. Finesses the landing wheelie combo. Now here we go with a backflip attempt, and he's got it. So Cody Saucier, you can find those tires indebted into that dirt. He found it no problem and hits the first backflip of the night. Fans going nuts, and that should be enough to take the lead, but we're not done yet. Turns the front wheels to the right, trying to cross-thread a little bit. Cody Saucier coming back, and that will do it. What a run as we take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay, a perfect backflip. 8.925, that takes the lead. And your current freestyle leader, Cody Saucier in Dragon. Next up, Shane Freed in Hooked. That first backflip of the night always goes a long way to getting these fan scores in. It showed in Cody's run, well deserved though. So Shane Freed had his work cut out for him here in Hooked. Now trying to find something. Comes off the double log stack, tries to get a sky wheelie. Just from one side of the track to another, plowing over the pod, and that will do it for Shane Freed. 5.126 is the score. The lead remains with Dragon. Next up, Chad Tingler in Stone Crusher. Chad comes up over the log stack, gets a wheelie in the middle of the pod, sets it back down on all 4 BKT tires, and climbs back up onto the pod from the other side of the track. And then again comes on the other side of the pod, trying to get Stone Crusher all the way across the track. And that will do it for Stone Crusher, so mechanical issues will fatigue the truck, and that will end the run short. 3.789 is the score. Next up, Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. And when you're in a stadium event, you have a lot of obstacles to choose from in your freestyle run. You can go from one side of the track to another, hitting 3 or 4 different things. In an arena, you have to be a little more creative as you have a 6-sided pod with a few things buried into it. So these drivers just try to find new ways to get across from one side of the track to the other. And Armando Castro is skilled at it, comes off the double log, and then on the other side on the single log, getting some nice air, gets the push and a brake check to get onto the track. Sets up, has a stoppy opportunity here, just shortened the jump landing a little bit. And now cross threads up, gets it back squared. And that will do it for Armando Castro. Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. 6.957 is the score. Dragon remains your leader. Next up in freestyle, Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. Currently holding on to the overall event lead. She is the Princess of Carnage. She has that name for a well-validated reason. As every track she hits, she just leaves that truck everywhere, lay it in waste, flies all over the place, hits every jump hard. Now over the logs again, beautiful vertical sky wheelie that she excels at that move, getting the back 2 tires to slide underneath the front when she lands the truck. Nice bounce for Brianna Mahan, gets it square, gets it right back down on all 4 BKTs. Again, a sky wheelie nearly clears the pod. Swings it around on the logs, keeps the momentum going, then brake checks, wheelie on the backside. And that will do it for the end of the run. Let's take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay, 8.474. One more competitor to go, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. Out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, enjoying one of the most, if not the most spectacular rookie season in Monster Jam history. Currently the series points leader on Arena Championship Series East. Started off the night by making the racing finals. The truck broke. He had to go back to the pit area, would recover, and come back. Now still has a shot here to land the event title, but he's got his work cut out for him. He's got to win the freestyle competition. Gets a nice popper. There was nothing there, and Weston Anderson created something with a popper into a moonwalk. Back around, keeps the momentum going. The back 2 tires never stop moving. He was able to finesse that. There's a great bounce onto the lip and then off the pod. Gravedigger flipping back around, now comes right over, man. He is running this thing like it's King Sling in his father's backyard. Look at Gravedigger go. Cross threads, gets the back 2 on the track. And Gravedigger with an 8.440. That is not enough to take the win. That means Dragons' Cody Saucier gets the freestyle win. But Brianna Mahan in Whiplash takes the overall event championship. As we take a look at our final BKT overall point standings, 28 points gets it done over Weston Anderson, over Cody Saucier and Armando Castro. Let's hear from our event champion as we head down to Freddie B and Brianna Mahan.
Greenville, make some noise for your overall event champion, Brianna Mahan, driving Whiplash. Brianna, these conditions out here gave everyone fits. It seemed like you were able to start putting it together to pull off this victory today. What was going on out here on the track?
I'll tell you what, it is so slick out here, and it's so hard to make these 12,000-pound trucks do exactly what we want to do. But you know what? That's the fun of it. Coming out here, we're driving by the seat of their pants. I want to know, Greenville, did you all have a good time today?
Brianna, it's your 3rd event champion. You make ground on the top 3 boys, and that top 3 to kind of infiltrate that. I want to ask you, with what you learned today, now, what is your mindset going into these next events tonight and tomorrow?
You know what? It's all about consistency. We've been having some issues today. If you guys didn't hear, with the truck shutting off, it was doing it in freestyle, but we kept pushing through. I've got 100% faith in Sean, my crew chief. He's going to have whiplash ready to go for tonight. We're busting out some backflips tonight. I want to give hats off to Cody and Dragon. That was the cleanest backflip. We weren't sure how well it would work out here. I am so stoked for another show tonight. I hope y'all had the best time of your lives. Let me hear you, Greenville.
One more time, the Princess of Carnage, Mahan, driving whiplash.
Great night for Mahan and Whiplash. That is all the time we have here from the Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Follow us on social media at Monster Jam. For my co-hosts Keaton Stewart and Freddie B, I'm Scott Jordan. We'll see you next time at Monster Jam, and we'll see you next time right here on Arena Series in 25. Good night from Greenville.